Hey everybody, it's Coaster King bringing you guys a brand new stream. So as you can see, we are back to Timber Network, and I'm really excited to get back into Timber Network. It's definitely a really great server, so I'm very excited to get back into this. As you can see, my server does need a lot of updates for a lot of stuff, but yeah, I wanted to kind of give you guys like a little recap on the server. I want to start off the stream with a little recap of just kind of how far we've come. So I'm gonna just go and jump into the bus right now. If it's gonna let me in. Oh, not yet. We'll have to wait for the next bus. But yeah, so this is the shuttle bus that we have that basically takes people like to and from the parking garage, and then from the parking garage, of course, you can head into the actual park. Um, So yeah, we'll go ahead and ride the bus over to the parking garage, and then we'll get into it. I know it can be a little bit laggy, especially like when we have like ride models and stuff. Like minecarts are generally not too laggy. It's more the ride models that are more laggy and stuff. But yeah, so I'll exit that way, and then we'll come here into the parking garage, and we'll walk up. I'm actually going to jump into survival just for fun. Yep, and then we'll walk on over to the monorail, and we'll wait for the monorail to show up. So the next stop, as you can see, is Timber Hills, and the next monorail will be coming very soon. I would guess the monorail might be over at the park right now, so that's probably why it's not here right now. Actually, I can try. Whoops. Train list. Actually, maybe the monorail train it actually might not be available right now. I may have despawned it actually, because I think when we temporarily shut down the server, I think I forgot to respawn the monorail, so we'll just have to fly over. Um, but yeah, that's definitely important. I'll make sure to get that spawn back in, especially if we get more people joining the server and stuff. But yeah, so as you can see over here, this is Timber Plaza. We'll go ahead and just hop down on the ground. So we have our security. So we have the general security and the season security. I'm gonna go through the season securities a little bit faster. But yeah, as you can see here, we've got Timber Plaza. We've got some restrooms off to the right. We actually have little restroom signs right there, which is kind of cool. And then over here on this side, actually get myself fly so I can give you guys a tour of this building. So this is our restaurant inside of Timber Plaza. This is definitely it's a very nice restaurant. Like we have definitely some good plans for it. So you guys will definitely have to check back on that when we finally get that built. Um, so recently I've been playing a lot of Schedule One. That's actually why I haven't been playing much Minecraft. Because I just haven't been because I've been playing a lot of Schedule One. So that's actually why I haven't been on Minecraft in quite a while. Right over here is one of our gift shops in the plaza. I think our only gift shop actually, because I don't think we have any other gift shops. We've also got the mini golf. We got some souvenirs, mini golf souvenirs. And then the mini golf, I'll actually show you around a little bit. We'll just go to creative for a second so I can show you the mini golf course. So, we have we have a few holes right here, and then it just kind of keeps on going and going and going. I believe this entire mini golf course, I think it might be like 18 holes, I think was what we ended up creating. Um, but yeah, it's definitely it's a very cool attraction. Like I'm definitely a really big fan of this mini golf. I think that it turned out really well. Um, and we definitely we had a lot of lanterns in here to light it up. Um, and your so basically your job as the person going through the mini golf, your job if you look at the Sunshine Mini Golf Guide, your job is so you'll be going exploring for lost treasure, and then I think it is hole that last hole in the cave. Um, Let me find that one. Oh yeah, that hole 15, the crystal cavern guides you toward the lost treasure. And then so yeah, then you find the lost treasure, and then you um golf your way through a little bit of a shipwreck right here. So um, and then you come out back onto the boardwalk, and then you end right there. So yeah, that's the mini golf. I'll go back into survival now. Well, actually, people are usually in adventure mode, so I'll go into adventure. I mean, not that that really makes a difference, but um, over here we've got our season pass center. This is kind of an expansion to the plaza. We actually the plaza was originally it was kind of cut off right about here, but we actually expanded the plaza a little bit when we added the season pass center. But yep, so you can see you can get like season passes here. Um, I think that this is like we added like some souvenirs and stuff. Um, and then here's of course our really beautiful Timber Hills sign. If you want to know how we did this top part of the sign, we actually used armor stands for that. And then this we placed like the just the heads on each box. But yeah, for the top one right there, we had these armor stands. Um, right here, as you can see, we've got the ticket booth, the ticket booths. There must be barrier blocks above there. Um, so yeah, the so we actually have a welcome center. So you can see right here. So TimberNetwork is a theme park server dedicated to custom recreations of various and real life theme parks. We'll be providing parks such as the Six Flags parks, various Disney parks, and more. Um, and then we do have some restrooms back here, so nothing too exciting back there. And then this is our crew in the area that like basically the staff go in there. But and then the welcome center actually does connect up with the park as well as you can see. But yeah, we have a welcome center. And actually, I'll show you guys some behind the scenes stuff as well. So you'll notice that we actually have a little bit of a show building. We built this back here because that's kind of the whole area. Like when you're inside the terrain, this is actually pretty much all show building, and then most of it is a facade. Like we have a facade just to make it look nicer, so that we're not just showing off a show building for all to see. Um, but yep, this is all definitely very cool. I like it. Um, Next over here, I'll stay in creative so that I can show you guys the go-karts. So this is the Expo go-kart. So this attraction is currently unavailable. But this is something I really want to work on at some point. And we have another gift shop in here for the go-karts, and then we actually have like a little first, second, third place kind of thing going on there. And we have a rocket here. This is a part of the scenery. And then we have like a whole lot of like rock spires. This is actually supposed to look like Mars. Like that's kind of the theme we were going for. Like we wanted this to look like Mars. And yep, so the go-kart track basically kind of spins around a little bit and then ends up back out here. So, yep, now we'll continue into the park. So, we'll go through the season pass entrance. Yep, and then we have the exit right there. But yep, here's the season pass entrance, and then yep, so here we go into the park. So, this park actually initially came out in April 2023. Though we've been running parks since 2017, so I would say, um, we actually have been, um, we've been running this park for almost 8 years now. So it's definitely, um, it's a park that we've been working on for a while. So you can see I'm the founder owner, and then Adult Turtle is the co-owner. Um, there actually is audio, but like if I do like slash out Angela in the audio server, I can play the audio. But I think I'm guessing some of the audio might be copyrighted. So I'm gonna be careful and just not play any audio just in case it's copyrighted because I'm not 100% sure on that. But yep, so here's Timber Hill as well. Sorry, here is Tim Hortons. So this is our nice little All my parks have a Tim Hortons. That's pretty classic for my parks to have a Tim Hortons. We have the Fairgrounds Midway games over here. We actually don't have any of the games set up. I still have to set those up, but we got kettle corn. Here's the Scrambling Goodies gift shop. Here's Scrambler over here. The first ride I'm gonna show you guys POV of will be the carousel. I think that actually the original version of the park, I think actually had the entrance to the carousel on the other side. Now, uh, for whatever reason, just resource packs haven't been working for me recently, so this is just what this looks like right now. But this actually was smooth stone stairs. Like there was a resource pack that a friend of mine has that where like he had like smooth stone stairs as a texture, which was really cool. Um, but yeah, so here we go on to Grand Carousel. So I'm gonna go and spawn in the ride model. Yep, it still works. Okay, we'll jump on the ride now. So yep, this is Grand Carousel. We actually do have some carousel music playing, but like I said, I'm not sure if it's copyrighted or not, so I just don't want to play it just to be on the safe side. Yeah, I was going to say the ride should start. There we go. And as you can see with the ride models, it's a bit laggy. Um, but it's cool though. I mean, like I definitely like this ride. It's definitely a fun ride. So I'm guessing once we get into doing like the coasters and stuff, it'll probably be pretty laggy, especially I think Cyclone is particularly laggy just because it has kind of a big ride model. So that one does tend to lag a lot. Cyclone is our aero looping coaster. Um, and I just see that I have one viewer watching. Thank you so much to that one viewer that is watching right now. It means a lot. Um, so I'm not 100% sure how long I'll stream for today, but I'll probably stream for like a couple hours. Um, all right, now there we go. I was just waiting for the ride to let me out. All right, and then we'll go and exit the ride. Um, oh, that's just an exit sign. Cool. So yeah, we have a couple exit gates just because like this ride is probably gonna have a lot of people riding it, so we'll need a lot of room for exiting. Over here we've got Backbeat Q. This is our nice little um buffet service restaurant. Um, yeah, nothing is in there. I don't think we have any food in here. Um, yeah. So as we continue this way, I'll show you guys Scrambler. Yeah, we'll try to ride all the rides today. Um, as long as they're not too laggy. But yeah, but you can see here we've got like an actual like ride model for Scrambler, so that's pretty cool. I'm gonna jump on the ride. Oh, there we go. Took a second, but now we're good. I think yeah, even getting on the ride can be a bit laggy sometimes. But yeah, I actually made an actual like working Scrambler ride model, which is kind of cool. Like a lot of the animations were pretty self-explanatory because it was really just making sure that the kind of the whole ride itself rotates and then like the individual like arms. So it was pretty easy. I think honestly the hardest well like the hardest thing is like when you have to make up your own ride or when you have to make up your own animations. Like I think for like our junior drop for junior drop over in junior fair, that ride I actually had to make my own animations and time them and everything, make sure that all of them were timed correctly and stuff. And I had to make sure like the ride didn't go too high or too low or whatever. And I had to make sure that it didn't like go off the rails or go underground or whatever. But yeah, I like I like the kinds of rides where you can just use the default animations because like I mean, this one I did have to add the arm rotate, but that was just a simple thing of just adding arm underscore rotate, and then it basically did the rest. It basically did the rest for me. We'll ride Tea Party before we ride Blue Streak, but oh, and actually I'll show you guys the fast pass system. So basically for fast passes at this park, you do slash FP get, and that gets you a fast pass, and then so fast lane, you can use that on Blue Streak. And then over here is our Fairgrounds Picnic Pavilion. So this is like a nice little place to kind of sit down and just relax and have a picnic and stuff. Um, you know, it's really nice. It's a nice little area. It's actually it sits right next to Blue Streak, so you can actually watch Blue Streak while you're sitting over here. Some of the hills actually over here are a little bit too big to see Blue Streak. To see like that end of it, but yeah, Blue Streak is a good ride though. Like it's actually this was the very first coaster we actually built at this park. And something I did try to do, something I did try to do with Blue Streak in this version of the park, is like I tried to make it so that it would have well I guess first of all I tried to make it so that this version of Blue Streak would have an accurate layout to like what the real Blue Streak at Cedar Point has. Like I wanted to make the layout kind of I wanted to make the layout pretty much the same as the actual Blue Streak. And then so that basically meant I had to make like a slanted lift hill, um, and then a slanted break ground and stuff. And I had to kind of do all sorts of like shaping for it. And I would say it actually did turn out really well. I mean, this definitely does look, it definitely does look a lot like the real Blue Streak, I will say. I'm definitely really happy with how it turned out. All right, over here is the tea kettler. This is like a nice little food stand. Um, and then, yep, let's jump into the queue for Tea Party, and we will ride this ride. And yep, so the cube Tea Party actually does go right by the ride right there. You'll notice I actually did try to keep the facade going over there, because for this because I didn't want like the show building to show. I'm fine with the show building showing on the side because like when people are in the monorail, they probably won't be looking this way, and we'll also probably have like terrain and foliage and stuff over here, so that'll probably okay. And actually, I'm not sure if my okay, I'm not sure if my channel notifications were going off in my Discord, so I'm actually gonna have to make a notification that I'm gonna have to make a notification that I'm live when I just have to do it myself. There we go. So I made the ping now. Okay, so yeah, we'll ride Tea Party now. But there we go. Yep, and so you can see we've got nice little teacups, and then it'll probably take a second. Like this ride does kind of lag a lot, so that is very unusual that it didn't let me on the ride. But yeah, we're gonna have to wait an entire ride cycle now, unless I can. Well, actually, I think I. Oh, whoops. Okay, I just wanted to make sure that I reset those. Actually, we do have to wait for the whole red cycle because if I do that, cool. There we go. I just had to reset that. Give myself night vision really quickly because I don't know if that, yeah, that didn't reset it. So I'm gonna have to manually reset. There we go. Okay, this ride is just gonna be down because I don't know what's going on with it right now. Yeah, so I'm just gonna block off the entrance for right now. Yeah, I did not realize that that was gonna happen. Okay. I'm gonna actually just stay and create it for right now. All right, so yeah, we'll go through the fast lane queue now for Blue Streak. I actually have never had that happen with that ride, so that is definitely not a good thing, and we'll look into that one once we've written all the rides. I'll look into that, and we'll get a POV of Tea Party if I end up having time to do that. Yep, and then so you click with your fast pass and you right click on the fence gate, and then it opens for you, and then it just closes back up. So yep, now I will go ahead and spawn in train for Blue Streak. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look into Tea Party. I don't know what's going on with them. Maybe we can just get a POV of Tea Party on a different stream. And I actually record all my streams because then I actually post my streams on YouTube. So if you guys are ever wanting to like rewatch the streams, or if you just miss the streams or whatever, most of the time, I try to post them up on YouTube. But here we go. We're riding Blue Streak. And I actually did have to turn, I think it was slow down. I had to turn slow down to false, because it actually wasn't making it through the whole layout at first. But yeah, nowadays it makes it through the whole layout because I turned slow down to false. Because yeah, initially when I built Blue Streak, we actually were having problems with it valleying. I think it was like toward the end of the ride, like maybe after it made it over that last airtime hill before the brake run. I think when it was trying to go up into the brake run, it was valleying, so we actually ended up having to um we ended up having to turn slow down to false. That's like a property in train carts and stuff. Like you can like turn slow down to false, and that'll make it so that gravity doesn't affect it anymore. But yep, this is the ride photo stand for Blue Streak. Before we go over to the other side, we'll actually stop in the junior fair. I'll show you guys the ride models for these. I don't necessarily need to show you the POVs just because they're pretty boring. But yeah, this is Fair Bus. This ride actually it acts very similar to um I'm trying to think of like those like little kid submarine rides that they have at like some theme parks and like the little kid zones. It's kind of similar to that. So like it'll start by going forward and it'll go around a few times and then it'll stop at the top and then it'll go backwards and stuff. But Yeah, so that's that one. Junior Tea Party is the same as Tea Party, and I'm not gonna mess with it just because I don't know if, I don't know if I broke Tea Party, so but yeah, this is Junior Drop. So this is like the little kid drop rides, drop tower rides. Um, it's kind of fun. Like you're basically you're pulled up to the top, you drop, and you bounce around a little bit, and then you at the end of the ride you just drop back to the ground. Yep. Okay. Oh, we'll go over to the other side of the fairgrounds. Yeah, let me grab a fast pass for. Let me grab fast lane for this ride. So this is Cadillac Cars. This one actually it was a little bit awkward with kind of space and stuff, but the guest actually does have to click this open in order to get into the ride, and then you click that, and then when the car comes into the station and when the gate opens, then you can jump into the ride vehicle. And once it passes the exit, because when you're passing the exit, it'll eject you from the ride. And that's by design, just because we wanted to make sure that people are like being like kicked off the ride at the end. So yeah, but this is like a nice little car ride. We built up some terrain and stuff so that way the ride would be interesting. And then right off to the right here, this is cycling. This was our second coaster that we built in this park. You can actually see it a little bit more as the car ride continues. Actually, I guess my view is limited. I forgot with how we set up the view and stuff. When you're in the car, I think you can't really turn your head in certain directions. We actually added, as you can see right here, we added an administration building. This is mainly for our staff team, like whenever we have like meetings and also it's just a place for our offices. Um, it's a place like for our offices. All right, the ride is almost over, and I'll show you guys the administration building in a second once it lets us off the ride. Yep, there it is. Yeah, and the administration building, I will say that is a staff only area, so um, yeah, only the staff team is allowed back here. So this is something that guests are not allowed to go back to. It is a staff only thing. But yes, this is actually it's very similar to our original building. We had a kind of a very similar design, but we made some tweaks and changes and stuff to make it look even better. Um, but we have a reception desk. We have the restrooms, which I think yeah, only one of them has anything in it. Ooh, that's really cool. Oh, whoops. That's definitely a really cool floor. Um, yeah, actually, let me go back into the building and I'll show you some more of the build. I'll show you guys some more of the building. Um, but yeah, we've got a meeting room in here. And then we've got our offices. I think we've got another closet in here, and then All right. So we'll keep on going up here. So this is Cyclone over here. This is the ride photos stand. Kind of as you actually can buy ride photos. Um, we'll go through the fast lane line. Our main queues tend to be kind of long, so that's why I wanted to go through the fast lane queue. But yeah, this is the main queue over here. Just I wanted to give you guys like a little brief look at it. But yep, the fast lane queue. The fast lane queue for this ride actually, in the original park um, in the original park how we had the fast lane queue, we actually had to hook up to the main queue. But in this case, you actually bypass the main queue completely, and then you basically make it up to the station. Um, Yep. And then, like I said, this ride might be a little bit laggy just because it is kind of a big model. Um, yeah, I thought we had done sounds on the lip but I wonder if we just didn't do that. Well, I wonder. I think we were going to do it as part of the model instead of doing it on the track because that can be a little bit of an easy way to do it. But yep. So you go around and then you do the drop. Um, all right. So there is the ride. So there's Cyclone. Over here, so yeah, we just have some pathing over here, and I think we hadn't finished this food stand yet, so we just blocked off the path. Um, but yeah, over here we have our boardwalk. So this is the Giant Wheel Gifts. This is like a nice little gift shop. Um, and Giant Wheel is actually something that we never actually opened, just because of the ride model for Giant Wheel is just extremely laggy. So we ended up deciding not to open Giant Wheel. I think we will definitely build it at some point though. Like I'm gonna remove all this gray wool that we used to outline, and I'll actually build an actual and I'll build an actual Ferris wheel. But um, yeah, it is just it's something that we didn't end up it's something that we didn't end up doing just because it was just creating too much lag. So we ended up having to just kind of scrap Giant Wheel. Um, yeah, over here, this is, if I lift these, you'll see this is the Santa meet and greet. So this is something that we have during the Winterfest event. Um, that's something that we have during Winterfest. Over here, I'm probably just going to show you the coasters because I do want to get some building done on the stream. But so this is Matterhorn. This is our nice little, I'll actually show you guys the ride model. Um, I will say this ride was definitely not very fun to make because the ride model for this one was just very, very complicated because after making all the cars, as I made each car, I had to make the animations um, like individually for each car. So it definitely took kind of a long time because I had to make it so that it would do all the animations of like going up and down the whole like the ramp and stuff. So yeah, it was definitely kind of a hard ride model, but it's very rewarding though. Like I think once I got it done, I was definitely very happy with how it turned out. Flying Eagles. This is a Larson Flying Scooters. I'll go ahead and show you guys this one. So yep, this is the Larson Flying Scooters. Um, and the animations actually work. Like you're actually like it does like the whole spinning in a circle and also like the tilting of the cars and stuff. Um, each ride actually does have like a little bit of a delay before it starts. Like so that people are able to get on the ride before like the restraints lock and everything. But yeah, as you can see, we have the whole like tilting animations and stuff for this. Like it actually like it really does feel like being on um it really does feel like being on the Larson Flying Scooters ride, which is really cool. As you can see, it's lagging a little bit. Windseeker, I'll actually show you guys a POV of Windseeker, but I will warn you that will be a little bit laggy. Um, Next ride we'll do is, wow, that's actually almost went up the exit. Here's the entrance. Um, yeah, I'm really happy with how the entrance, I'm really happy with how like the queue line for this ride turned out. Like it's definitely a really cool queue line. I think we used a mixture of yeah, barrels and spruce planks for the queue. Yeah, I'm not gonna walk through this entire queue. We'll just go up to the station. Here we go. Yep, and then you spawn. And then you do have to wait to get onto the ride until the gate actually opens. There we go. So yeah, this ride is supposed to be like Wild Mess at Cedar Point. So we do actually I guess I won't do night vision for the POE, but I'll show you I'll show you the ride area once we have ridden the ride. But yeah, you can see you can't really see a whole lot because like it is a dark ride, so um yeah, this is a ride that I'm sure we get a very long queue in a real theme park, so that's why we wanted to have this be a dark ride because um like that way you don't have to like wait out in the sun. Um you don't have to wait out in the sun for the ride. Next ride is Surfer Swell, or well, what not Surfer Swell. Wow, I'm thinking of Roller Coaster Land right now, as you can probably tell. This ride is High Roller Dive. I think yeah, when I looked and saw the blue track, I was thinking like Surfer Swell from Roller Coaster Land. But no, this is a High Roller Dive, as you can see. High Roller Dive, and we have the High Roller Restaurant right next to that. Right next to that. But yeah, we'll go through the fast lane queue. Cool. There we go. And we actually have like row numbers on the floor right there, as you can see. But yeah, this is High Roller Dive. This is a Gerstlauer Infinity Coaster. It's supposed to be kind of similar to Hang Time at Knott's Berry Farm. That was kind of the idea we were going off of for this ride. So like, you have like the whole break on the top of the drop. You'll see once we get up there. But yeah, High Roller Dive is supposed to be kind of you're basically kind of you're in a casino. That's kind of the theme for the ride is a casino. I will say the on my server we definitely made quite a lot of changes since the last time since well since it was last open along with since I last streamed my server we were kind of just getting started on Timber Network, but we've definitely gotten a lot of stuff done since then. And I'll show you guys like after we ride Windseeker, I'll show you guys I'll show you guys a little bit of kind of what we have been working on in the Expo Center. Yeah, and I actually I added these armor stands to make it look like we have actual ride operators because I thought that'd be kind of fun. I thought it'd be kind of fun if it looked like we had actual ride operators. Yeah, I guess we have been skipping a lot. So let me just go back on here on the boardwalk. So we got the Sunshine Pier Restaurant and Bar. This is one of our restaurants on the boardwalk. We've also got the Sunshine Pier Lockers. This is for um, you can use the Sunshine Pier Lockers like for when you're going on like Wild Mouse or High Roller Dive. Um, Sunshine Pier Gifts. We've got a little gift shop right there. Um, we got Coca-Cola Freestyle. We just got one of those Coca-Cola Freestyle locations. We got restrooms right here. We also got Wild Mouse Bites. This is like a nice little food stand. All right, as we continue down the boardwalk, we eventually make our way over to Jajam's. Um, for this ride, actually, I'll show you guys how we did this. So, how we made this automatic. So basically, I'll go into night vision really quickly. So we actually used command blocks for this. So basically, the command block is what like sets the floor to ice, and then back to it sets the floor to ice, and then back again to the regular floor. Um, oh yeah, I wanted to show you guys the wild mouse ride area. So let me do that really quickly, and then we'll hit up Windseeker. So yeah, I was gonna say I don't think we can go out that way. I think we have to go out this way. So I'm gonna just turn on night vision so that we can see this. So basically, so this is we actually used a layout very similar to Wild Mouse at Cedar Point, and we actually made use of the this is the same ride as we had at Cedar Hills, um, but it's just inside of the building. So yeah, it's kind of cool. Um, and we actually, in addition to, or well, I guess this is something that we also did at Cedar Hills. We had like a little transfer truck area for the ride vehicles and stuff. So again, anytime we have to like transfer vehicles off of the ride, we can do that. But yeah, High Roller Dive is a fun ride. I definitely like it a lot. I think it turned out really well. And then High Roller Dive, yeah, you can see right here, this loop is nothing compared to Windseeker because I think this loop is well, it's the loop is less tall than the left hill right here. So yeah, like this is like probably a couple 100 feet shorter than Windseeker, probably a little bit more than that. But yep, we'll go through the fast lane queue, and I'll show you guys Windseeker. Yeah, sometimes it's gonna be a little bit glitchy when you're getting into ride vehicle. There we go. So yeah, this is Windseeker. This is one of this is actually right now it's our tallest ride in the park. Actually no, I lied. Gargantua is the tallest because we ended up extending the height up to think I want to say it's 315 feet with a 330-foot drop. But yeah, so Windseeker, as you can see, we have our nice little Windseeker ride. It is really cool. I mean, like, it's definitely really cool, like how high up you go on Windseeker. I definitely that is one of my favorite things about Windseeker is how high up you get to go. Um, but yeah, this I think before we built Gargantua, this was our tallest ride in the park. Um, because it was this ride is 301 feet tall. Um, and then, like I said, Gargantua is like 315 feet tall, so it's actually just a little bit taller than Windseeker, but yeah. But yeah, I think this is probably, I think on this side of the park, I would say this is probably one of my favorite rides. I like getting to go up really high like that. I think that is pretty cool. Yeah, and the ride model definitely took a lot of time to make because it was definitely kind of a big ride model. There were a lot of like moving parts to it and stuff. So yeah, it's fun. Like I'm definitely a big fan of the ride. I think it's a great ride. So yeah, that's everything that's currently open. And then so if we go over here, this is where we have our nice little expo center. We have a really nice grand entrance right here, so expo center. Um, we got Nova Ride right over here. This is going to be a US. This is going to be an enterprise. Um, a Haas Enterprise. We have a little gift shop that you exit into from the ride. We've got like a little food stand right here. We've got our restrooms, which are still not finished yet. Yeah. We were going to have a ride above the path right here, but we ended up getting rid of it just because it didn't really. I think it partly just didn't really fit in with the area. So, but yeah, Gargantua Plaza. So here's Gargantua. So here's the nice, really, really tall coaster. It towers over everything, basically. It's really cool. Um, and it has kind of a very wide lift hill because for this one, this is a B&M Giga coaster, so there's basically it's four cross seating, so you had to make sure the lift hill was wide enough to support that. Um, and then of course, yeah, so you after they'll tell you have the really massive drop, and then you go into like the really massive airtime hill right there, and then you go into a hammerhead turnaround, and then you come up through here into a sideways hill. You get some airtime on that, and then you come out of that into a really massive, into like a really massive brake run. So those are mid-course brake run, and then you drop out of that into a really massive helix, and then you do I think a few more airtime hills. Like you actually do a little bit of a double down right here, and then you do an airtime hill and then up into the brake run. And the brake run, as you can see, is very long. Kind of like every B&M coaster. It has a very long brake run. Um, and I guess we actually have not finished the queue for this ride yet, but yeah, this ride definitely is the longest queue in the park. It has a 90-minute wait, and then there's a 30-minute wait for fast lane. But yeah, fast lane basically goes straight up to here to the merge point, and then the two lines merge, and then there's like a little indoor section for the queue, and then you eventually make your way up and into the station. And we built a transfer like a maintenance shed over here, so that way if we need to do any maintenance on the trains, we can do that. And then I think this ride, I think we ended up deciding we're gonna have three, four, probably around 4 or 5 trains. We might only do four though. Um, I think it would depend on the number of block sections because I think you always want to have at least 2 or 3 empty blocks on the ride. So I think in this case we have the load station, unload station, or so let me start with the unload station. So unload station, load station, lift, mid-course brake run, and then so that's 4 blocks already, and then we've got five. Well, actually, I guess I don't count this upper part as a block. So then five, six. So we basically have 6 block sections because like this is more of kind of a way to slow down the train. It's not actually to stop it. Um, the ride will actually stop down here. This is gonna kind of similar to Orion at Kings Island. It'll stop at this section right here. Um, so yeah, this ride will probably operate with I would say probably 4 trains. Um, but yeah, over here, this is going to be a gift shop. This is going to be USS Enterprise. This is going to be our aero suspended coaster. Um, I would say, and actually, a lot of the rides over here are actually pretty much finished. It's more just kind of we have to get the track set up and then the ride models and stuff like that. Um, I will say, yeah, this definitely does look really, really short when compared to if you look at like how tall Gargantua is. This looks really tiny, and even like the second lift still looks very, very tiny. And I guess I never added the barrier blocks yet for the track, but yeah, and actually something that I did to make it swing when it's going into the brake run is I basically had the track go this way, and then you turn, and then you do another turn, and then so basically when you come into the brake run, you're going to be swinging like crazy, and like that's something that's very classic. That's something that's very common with aero suspended coasters. Is generally when you're coming into the final brake run, you are swinging like crazy. So that's something I wanted to do. Um, And then, so this area, this is the Expo Foundry, and then this is that's going to be a food shop. Over here is going to be Portal. This is going to be, I think it's an indoor launch coaster, kind of similar to, kind of Portal 2, kind of similar to like Flight of Fear at Kings Island. I think, this is a creation by Fire Clown. He's one of I believe he's our building coordinator. Um, so he's been working on this. I think more recently he hasn't gotten around to working on it very much, but it is a very cool ride. I'm definitely really happy with how it looks so far. I think it's definitely going to be a really good ride. But yeah, that's pretty much the tour of the park. And yes, we'll actually get some work done today. I think we'll start by kind of trying to fix Tea Party. I'd love to get it fixed because I'd love if we could reopen it. I don't really like having rides down, but it is definitely something that whenever a ride is acting up like that, we do have to have it be down for a little bit because if it's not down, then could um, that could be dangerous. So. Um, Well, I think also just the fact that you can't even get into the ride. That's another thing I'm gonna have to look into. Oh, there we go. Hold on. Oh, okay. Let's try this again. I think it might be since these teacups are at an angle. I think it was okay. I think now it's working. So I'll go ahead and I'll just do a quick test ride on, and I'll also just do a test run just to make sure it's working. Um, but yeah, actually, so yeah, I guess being a POV of Tea Party. I'll test Junior Tea Party as well just to make sure it's working. So I'll actually put it down for maintenance so that we can just test the ride and make sure it's working. But um, yeah, it's working a lot better now. I mean, like it's lagging, but it's working. So. When I turn on night vision, there we go. Okay, so I think the ride is ready to go now, so I think we should be okay. There we go. I'm gonna check Junior Tea Party. I'm just gonna do a quick test run of it just to make sure it's working, and then okay. I think that's all working, so I think we should be fine. After the test run, then the ride will reopen. Yeah. Whenever one of a ride model isn't working, I usually like to test them all just to make sure that the one that wasn't working isn't affecting the other one. Um, so yeah, something I'd really like to work on today would maybe be to kind of keep working on Gargantua. Maybe even get some of an overrider done as well. But I think the biggest priority would be getting Gargantua done. Um, because this is like an anchor attraction for this area, so I definitely want to make sure it's ready to go by the time we open the expo center. Yeah, I'm not oh, actually I think for this ride I think what I wanted to do is I wanted to have the track actually on top. So we're gonna have to make sure to do that before we put a roof on the station. Um, yeah, these supports kind of block out this sign right here, which is something I'm not a big fan of. Um, yeah. And yeah, I guess I mean, like, we do already have another coaster, and maybe even we could even turn that into being a family coaster. So like if we did want to get rid of USS Enterprise and just put a flat ride in, we could potentially do that. Or oh, actually, yeah, we could do if we wanted to replace this like with a drop tower or something, that would be kind of cool. I mean, we already have drop tower plans for the racing area though, which is my one concern with doing that. But yeah, so I think right now though we'll work on Gargantua. Um, right, so I need to decide on a roof. Um, I'm gonna go to the original park, um, and just see what we did over there. I don't think we actually had a roof on it, but I think we at least had a floor on it though. So that'll give me an idea of what I want to do. But yeah, this is the original ride. Well, this is the original park and the original Gargantua. I would say I'm not really happy with this version of the park. I definitely don't think it turned out the way that I wanted it to. Um, yeah, especially Gargantua. This was just I did not do very good on this ride. Um, yeah, I did not do a very good job on this ride, but I think we were actually gonna have a haunt location right there. One of our haunts was gonna be there. But yeah, actually, let me not get sidetracked. Um, oh, we actually have like a quartz brick kind of idea. Yeah, I think I want it to be different though with the new build. Let me just grab a few more blocks. Um, yeah, actually, while I'm speaking about not being sidetracked, um, I do want to show you guys. So Gravity Gardens is a park that was made by James the Great One, and he actually gave me ownership of this park. Um, like he gave this park over to me. Um, and it's definitely a very cool park. I'm definitely a really big fan of this park. I think it's definitely a very, very cool park. Um, so Tomcat I think is the only ride that I currently have made operational because like the rest of the rides are just the rest of the rides I just haven't gotten a chance to make operational yet. So Tomcat is the only ride that actually works right now. And trying to find, oh, there we go. So basically how this ride works, so I'll show you guys. So basically for this ride, you to spawn in ride vehicles, you hit the spawn button and you can spawn, I think up to, technically in this ride you can have up to 3, but right now I think only 2 just because I only have 2 box sections set up. So um, we can only run with a maximum of 2 trains. Um, so example, open gates, open restraints, or open restraints, open gates, close restraints, and then all clear. And then the destroy all button is for destroy the trains. And I'm definitely impressed with how all the tech is able to fit in this area. Um, because it's kind of a lot of tech. Um, so it's definitely kind of impressive that it all fit in that small area. But yeah. So back to my park though, so that I'm not going completely off the rails. I'm trying to remember what I was doing. Windseeker. That's where I want to teleport to. That's Windseeker is like right next to the Expo Center. That's the only warp that we have next to the Expo Center because like we don't want to sudden warps in the Expo Center since the warp command is able to be used by guests. So like we don't want them being able to teleport into areas that aren't open yet. But yeah, I think probably what we'll do for the queue then, I think we'll do probably smooth stone. At least like for the inside the building part. Maybe even outside of it. So this ride is actually themed around Gargantua from Interstellar. Um, so that's actually where the kind of the inspiration of this ride comes from. Is actually the movie Interstellar. Um, but yeah, I think actually I do want to go with the I think the yeah, we have a display of Gargantua, which is the black hole from Interstellar. Um, and so basically the black hole is right in the center. Well, that's like the shadow. And then around that, all the light that you see is the accretion disk. Yeah, and then you can see so part of the queue is indoors, and then when you get out here, um, you're outdoors for a little bit, and then you go back indoors. So yeah, I think what we'll do is we'll find a slab that makes the most sense for the ceiling. Yeah, I guess we could do. I think I actually want to do a mixture of that and the quartz. All right, so we got our lighting. I'm gonna probably have to put some more lights, but that's a good start though. We'll need to do some lights in the station. Okay. So I'm thinking that this region right here, this is actually going to be part of the black hole. Well, like I think so. It basically, it'll dive into the black hole, and then you won't dive so far into the black hole that you'll be pulled in. But basically, like you'll like kind of similar to like the movie of Interstellar, um where they're basically trying to get as close as they can. Um, they're trying to get like as close as they can to the black hole before they then fire their engines to like to escape the pull of the black hole. it's going to be kind of a similar thing uh, for this ride. So basically, as it's coming down, it'll come down and it'll be in the black hole, but then like, it'll be kind of like it won't be like it won't be all the way down to the it won't be all the way down to the event horizon. Like it'll stop just shy of that, and then it'll kind of launch up into this really massive airtime hill, and then you'll actually pass by the black hole again, as you can see, like when you're going through the helix toward the end of the ride. Yeah, so this ride is gonna be the tallest and fastest coaster at the park. Well, at least until we get to building our strata coaster, then of course that'll be the tallest and fastest. But um, yeah, I'm really like I would say I'm very excited for this ride. Like I think that this is gonna be a really cool ride. Actually, I should add some lighting over here in the maintenance shed. All right, so I just wanted to provide a little bit more support for the transfer track. Yeah, and then so basically, how we'll then move the track is basically the track will move over into this position and then this position, and so like that. That's how that will work. Hmm. All right. I'll be honest, I don't really feel like doing all the track and the models and stuff today, so I think I'll just stick to building for today. So I think what I'm gonna do, I'm not gonna make the roof of this. Not really thinking has to be. I'm not really thinking it has to be like super fancy. Um, Let me see here. Um, Oh, I screwed up then. Okay, I'm gonna have to fix this now. Um, I did want to let you guys know. So my server has reopened at this point. The whitelist like is off and everything. So like the server has like completely reopened. So if you guys want to join the server, the IP for the server is timbernetwork.ggs.onl, and the version of the server is 1.21.1. So again, the IP is timbernetwork.ggs.onl, and then the version is 1.21.1. So if you guys want to join up with the server and check it out, definitely feel free. Um, um, I'm kind of only available this week to be on, and then next week is going to be kind of a busy week just because I've got a theme park trip planned next week, so I will be very busy next week. So I probably won't be on at all. I probably won't be on much next week. Um, yeah, so that's why I wanted to give you guys a heads up, just because I wanted you to know that I probably won't be on next week, but I will. Um, I guess I'm mostly on my server whenever I have the free time, which I don't have a lot of free time, so that's why kind of my streaming schedule hasn't been great. Like I haven't streamed in a while. Um, it's mainly just because kind of real life has been coming first, and like I think it's always good to put real life first. Like I think that's definitely a very healthy thing. It's a very important thing to put real life first. Like I would say real life always comes first over anything like um, on the internet. So. All right, so I'm actually gonna end off the stream here. Oh, sorry. I'm gonna end off the stream here. So I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. Please be sure to follow me on Twitch. I'm actually almost to 50 followers, so I'm almost to affiliate. So please keep those follows coming in. Um, please be sure to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Um, if you want to see more content like this. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day.